We were together for 8 years, built a life together, planned for marriage. She was my first love, my best friend, my everything. So when she told me she was pregnant, but that the baby wasn't mine, my world shattered. She left me for the real father and cut off all contact. I spent years rebuilding myself, healing from the betrayal. But then 5 years later, I learned something that made my blood run cold. The child she claimed wasn't mine. He was mine. I took matters into my own hands after that. And let's just say, her plan backfired spectacularly. Her name was Riley. We met in college and were inseparable for almost a decade. 8 years of memories. 8 years of birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and plans for a future that never came. She was everything to me. We moved in together after graduation, got a dog, even opened a joint savings account for our someday wedding. I thought I knew her inside and out, but the one thing I never expected from Riley was betrayal. It started with her pulling away. She was always on her phone, working late, going out with the girls more than usual. I tried not to be paranoid. I gave her space, trusted her. That was my mistake. One night I came home to find her sitting on the couch, pale and shaking. I asked what was wrong. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said the words that would break me. "I'm pregnant, and it's not yours." I felt the air leave my lungs. I stood frozen, staring at the woman I'd spent nearly a decade with. She said it was a mistake, that it happened during a bad patch between us, that she didn't mean for it to happen. But then the dagger, she was leaving me to be with the baby's real father. I begged her to stay, told her we could work through it. I even said I'd raise the child as my own, but she had made up her mind. "I can't do that to you," she said. "You deserve better." And just like that, she packed her bags and left. The first year after Riley was gone was the darkest time of my life. I lost weight, I lost friends, I lost faith. I buried myself in work and therapy, trying to forget the life we almost had. Then came the photos. Mutual friends still had her on social media. I couldn't help but look. There she was, glowing, holding a newborn boy. She looked happy. He looked a lot like me. I tried to convince myself it was coincidence. Genetics are weird, right? Maybe her new boyfriend just happened to look like me too. But I couldn't shake the feeling. I saw my smile on that baby, my eyes. I pushed the thought away for years, until 5 years later, fate handed me a second chance. I was at a local park with my dog when I heard a little boy calling the same name, Max. I turned and saw the dog running up to another dog that looked just like mine. The boy chasing him looked eerily familiar. I froze. Then I heard a woman's voice, one I hadn't heard in years. "Eli, come back here." It was Riley. She looked older, more tired, but still the same Riley I had loved for 8 years. She didn't notice me at first, but the second our eyes met, she stopped dead in her tracks. She hesitated, then said, "He just turned 5 in March." My heart skipped. I did the math in my head. March, 5 years ago. That was exactly when she left me. I went home and cried, but not from sadness, from rage. I decided I had to know the truth. I consulted a lawyer, explained everything. I asked what I could legally do to get a DNA test. He said I had options, especially if I believed I was the biological father and she had knowingly misled me. He helped me draft a request for paternity testing. When I sent it to Riley, she ignored it. Twice. The third time I had it served legally. That got her attention. We met in a mediation office. She looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. I stayed calm. "I just want to know the truth," I said. She finally agreed. 2 weeks later, the results came back. 99.97% probability of paternity. I was Eli's father. I was furious. But strangely, I wasn't shocked. I had known. A part of me always had. I took immediate action. First, I filed for joint custody. Second, I requested child support reimbursement for the years I was denied the right to be his father. Riley was livid. "You're doing this to get back at me," she screamed in the courtroom. "No," I replied. "I'm doing this because you lied. You robbed me of 5 years with my son, and now I'm taking back what's mine." The judge sided with me. I got shared custody. Eli started spending weekends at my house. At first he was shy, unsure, but slowly he warmed up to me. We built pillow forts, played with Max, watched cartoons, and made pancakes every Sunday, and I told him the truth, in an age-appropriate way, that I was his dad, that I loved him, that I always would. Riley hated it. She tried to paint me as unstable, said I was too cold to raise a child, but the court saw through her. A year later, I filed for primary custody. The court granted it, citing her instability, her lies, and my strong bond with Eli. Riley lost everything. She cried in court. She begged me to reconsider. I didn't. She made her choice 5 years ago. She lied, she ran, and she thought I'd just disappear. But I didn't. Today, Eli is 6 and thriving. He's funny, smart, and he calls me Dad without hesitation. We play soccer, do homework together, and he sleeps soundly every night knowing he's loved. Riley still sees him, but on my terms now. She texts me every now and then, usually with regret thinly disguised as small talk. But I don't hate her anymore. I don't need to. I won. I got my son back. The truth came out. And the life she thought she stole from me, I reclaimed it, piece by piece, and she's the one left picking up what's left of her plan.